Casual music fan or a die-hard picker, if you haven't been to the Songbirds Guitar Museum yet, you need to go. They've got such an amazing collection of literally vintage guitars, one of a kind, all around the world. One of the guys who helped put all this together is Damian Rogers, and Damian is here joining us on Let's Chat. Damian, welcome to your first time on the show.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
If folks are just rolling in town and aren't familiar with what the Songbirds Guitar Museum is, and you had 30 seconds to tell them, what would you say?
Well, I would say we are the largest collection of vintage guitars in the entire world. We've done our research, and so we didn't want to be wrong on that, because that's a big claim. But we have, basically we take you on a journey throughout the 50s and the 60s, and how the birth of the solid body electric guitar really started rock and roll, and how that kind of translates to now, and how virtually what we have is everything that kind of started the instruments that you see today, and virtually they haven't changed since.
One of the things that amazed me when I was there the first time is you don't have a guitar like John Lee Hooker used when he was recording Boom, 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 Boom. You have the guitar.
Right, so that's true. So we have a few artist guitars that, you know, these artists did play.
Yeah.
So we've got a B.B. King ES355. We've got a one of Chuck Berry's ES355. That's one of our favorite, obviously, since we lost him recently. Yeah, we've got a lot of those, and then we've got, of course, like flat top acoustics and things like that, but really focusing on the solid body electric guitar.
Tell me about this electric guitar you have here.
That's right. So this one right here is a 1957 Fender Stratocaster.
Wow.
And the Stratocaster came out in 1954. So.
Now, what makes this particular Stratocaster so unique, so significant?
Sure. So it's in a sunburst finish, and so that's typically what you would find the color in these instruments. They would come in a sunburst. Now later in the 60s you would get custom colors and things that really, you know, stood out. And so the Stratocaster is still an incredibly popular model even today. And so what we have is essentially the beginnings of those. We have a prototype at the museum. We have things like that that kind of started the
You
brand.
even have a no-caster.
That's right, yeah.
Now, again, the 20-second synopsis, what's a no-caster?
Sure. So the first model that Fender put out was the Esquire and the Broadcaster, the one pickup model and the two pickup model. And then so later in '51, they got a letter from Gretsch, which is another company, saying, hey, you can't use the name Broadcaster because we have that for one of our drum sets. And so they had to take the name off of the headstock. And so now all you have is Fender on the headstock, and so we refer to those as no-casters.
Yeah, and those are a rarity, to say the least.
They are. There's not that many out there.
You guys also have a neat performing venue there, and you've had Dick Dale, among others there, the king of the surf guitar, and you got a pretty cool band coming up tonight.
That's right. So we've got Slippery When Wet, which is a Bon Jovi tribute band, and they're a really good time. They're really fun. They'll be loud, and there'll be lights and everything, and it's just a good time. And especially the event space is unlike any other.
Kind of an intimate event space.
It is. You know, so like you said, with Dick Dale, it's like, you know, he's the king of the surf guitar, and I never thought that, once I found out who he was, I never thought it would be, you know, one, be able to see him, but two, be that close to him. And it was amazing. He put on an incredible show.
And he was a guitar pioneer, like
That's right.
very few others. Do a little research on that. You can find out more about that just a couple of mouse clicks away. But Dick Dale just blew me away. I wanted to make that show, was unable to, but you guys are stepping up the pace on your live appearances, right?
That's right. So with the venue that we're, you know, with Songbirds, so we've got, like I said, Slippery When Wet tonight, and then tomorrow we have Scott Miller, who's a great singer-songwriter, and then down the road we've got Edwin McCain, we've got Victor Wooten, which is an incredible draw. Him and Dennis Chambers are coming with a trio.
Right.
They're playing together for actually 2 shows. Which will be incredible.
I got to tell you, this is people constantly refer to, and probably one of the most overused terms is crown jewel. I think you guys really are the crown jewel down among all the new dynamic events that are going on at the Choo Choo and all the new meeting spaces and all the new happenings. Give us the particulars on the museum. When are you open?
So it depends on the day. Typically on you know, Mondays through Wednesdays we're open till 6, like from 10 to 6, and then Thursday, Friday, Saturday we're open 10 to 8. And then Sunday we have short hours from like 10 or 12 to 6.
Can folks come in and essentially rent the whole museum out? Corporate groups, offices, things like that?
Very glad you brought that up, because that's something that we realized that we could do and offer a very unique setting. And whether you're a music lover or not, you won't find a more unique setting. And so we do private events. We can do, you know, wedding receptions. We can do you know, birthdays, things like that. But also corporate events like that. We've had those have been a big hot ticket item. So.
And here I I am going to ask questions that are probably none of my business, but you guys have had some really noted entertainers who have made side trips to come in here just to tour the museum.
That's right.
Of course, Vince Gill is the curator.
He's our ambassador.
And I know he's been here 3 or 4 different times.
Right, yeah. So he's been in, and we love Vince. He's been a great champion for us. Great player, too. I think that's a lot of people, they know him for his voice, but I mean, he's an incredible player, and he actually curated one of the cases, like you were saying. But then we've also had people like Joe Bonamassa. He was huge in the guitar community, and people like that kind of stop in, and it's fun, we get to hang out with them. So,
you had John Oates on right during the grand opening.
Right, yeah, he was around, yeah.
And I got to tell you, when Bree and I were there for the grand opening, here's Vince Gill running around like a kid in a candy store. And I've known Vince for well before his Pure Prairie League days. I said, Vince, what do you think of the Guitar Museum? He grabbed my shoulder and said, oh my God, it's like my house, only bigger and better.
Right.
So you got folks like him that are championing what you folks are doing at the museum itself. That says a lot. If you had to put a mission statement out on the museum, what do you think it would be?
I think it's to really educate people on knowing where we've come from. This was a time period with these instruments that it was it's very hands-on on how they made them, and I think that it's kind of a testament to where we've been, but also kind of where we should go, because there's a lot of love and care that is put into these instruments, and it's, like I said, it's a sight to behold, but it's also a very revered place. So.
All right, Damien, we're running out of time. Wish we had a little bit more, but I'm going to give you this beautiful Martin.
Yes.
Try not to knock the
I will not do that.
Over there, and play us into break a little bit while I tell you all about the Songbirds Guitar Museum itself. It's at the Choo Choo. You can find out more through their website, which is
songbirdsguitarmuseum.com.
songbirdsguitarmuseum.com. Damian Rogers, play us into the break. We're back with more of Let's Chat right after this.